Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to go over something you guys can do today to improve your business. We're going to talk about something a little bit easier and quicker than yesterday. Yesterday we talked about, if I recall, we talked about slide in pop-ups. Today we're going to talk about fresh eyes, right? All right. What I want you guys to do today, and just as a reminder, every day at 1 p.m. Pacific, I'm putting out ideas for you guys to grow your business in 15 to 30 minutes at a time. These are all things that you can do just today, right? With the exception of yesterday. Yesterday probably took more than one day. But let me just remind you, at my site, epicdesignlabs.com/COVID, you can see lots of prior videos that I've put out, one every day. There's over like 40 at this point. All things that you guys can do today as soon as YouTube loads. All things that you guys can do today for the most part to grow your business and be healthier when this time passes. All right. So what are we talking about today? I want to talk about checking out your major pages on your site for calls to action. And this is something that you may have looked at a long time ago and you may have forgotten all about it, or you may assume that everything is set up the way that you want it to be set up. But it's a good day to dust off those old eyes and look at your site with fresh eyes. And so depending on what kind of site you have, whether it's an e-commerce site or a non-e-commerce site, you may have slightly different page templates. Obviously, you know what your site has. I don't. But I'm going to just look at my site as an example, and what I'm looking for is for all the major page types and all the most important pages to make sure that they have a call to action. And why is that? It's because if you're going to actually get somebody to look at something, you gotta lead them to whatever the next thing is. Otherwise, they potentially just fall out, right? And that's not what you want. I will say every page on my site has an obvious start here button at the top, so everything technically has a obvious call to action. But what I'm looking at today is calls to action within the context of a page, right? So here's a blog post that we did recently, 3 projects you can jump on during a COVID timeout. And when you scroll down to the bottom, we have a couple calls to action here, to call us or to send us an email. I'd kind of rather this be like an obvious button, but this isn't bad. But the real call to action here on our blog posts are more reading, where we're showing them other articles that might catch their eye too. And what we're trying to do is we're just trying to get somebody that came into my site because they found this on a Google search, and we're trying to get them to know that there's more stuff here. And they read the more stuff, and they start thinking, these guys are cool. I want to know more about those guys. So when you bring somebody in with, just a specific piece of content, they're not really there to see you. They're there to see that the answer to that content. And so for me to have like a heavy brand play at this point and say, do business with me. Hey man, I just came here to read your article. Like, I'm not going to give you money, right? But if I can get him or her to read more articles and get more value, then that may start the wheels rolling that this guy is providing a lot of value. Maybe I want to work with him. Now I'm interested in clicking that start here button, or at least looking around at some of his other pages. So putting some of these like related posts at the bottom of your blog post, I think is a really good thing. And maybe like a contact us type of button would be not a bad thing, or like a download button or something. You just want to make sure that somebody can take an action and have a next thing wherever they are in your site. Obviously your homepage is important, but I think you guys probably already know what's on your homepage. Let's look at an interior page. So on this interior page, we're talking about e-commerce and why it's important to us. Get a quote button right there. So I could double up and put another button, really the same button down here, so when they get to the end of the page, so that there's a call to action there without having to scroll up, and I probably should. So that's like, mental note for myself. And hey, even Cal the websites guy needs fresh eyes too. So it's not just you, right? I can look at some of these other pages. My About Us page, I looked at this right before this broadcast, and I noticed that number one, I don't have all my people up here, and number two, there's no call to action on here. So that's an obvious takeaway for me as a human with a website is I need a button on my About Us page. My support page is a form, so that's completely a call to action. And so I could look around at some of the other interior pages, but I think for today, here's the goal: is for you guys to look at your main page types. So your top level pages, your blog posts, anything else specific that you think stands out. If you're an e-commerce store, look at your homepage, look at your categories, look at your product pages, look at your about page. About page is extremely important on any site, especially an e-commerce site. They want to know that you guys are humans, and you always just want to make sure that you give them that next step. Check out our best-selling products, maybe, or check out our catalog, view our catalog, or read our about, read our story, learn more. There can be so many things. The entire point of today is let's look through our own sites and let's be objective and let's just ask ourselves, does this page lead me to a next action? And do that for all of the pages that make sense. All of your top level pages, at least a couple blog posts, and anything else that you think is important on your site. So is there a next step? Is there a button? Is there a link? Is there a what? What are you asking people to do? It should be something. And that's it for today. Come back tomorrow. This was an easy one. Maybe tomorrow will be a little bit harder. I don't know. We'll see. So that's it for today. Come back tomorrow and have more ideas for you then. Thanks.